We have anonymous
Yes.
person.
But I loved how she signed it though. So hold on. Dear marriage and real life, my husband is terrible with foreplay.
Female.
How do I tell him he is not hitting the mark? Signed, unstimulated. I love that.
You want to take care of this one?
Want me to start? Okay.
Yeah.
So, what I've learned over 14 years of marriage, and I've been with my husband since I was 17, honesty is key. Keeping it real, but at the same time, knowing your environment, knowing your tone, and knowing how to compliment before you come in with the punchline.
What I think is, if
I thought you said you want me to handle this.
You did. Here's my turn. In something like this, you want to be very careful of how you say it. Mm-hmm. That's very, very important. Let's face it. You know, everybody has their downfalls.
Right.
Sometimes what you have to say is, how you say it is, in a nice, loving, caring way. Like right in the middle of it. Just say, you know what, baby, try it like this. Try it like this. Not with no attitude, because, I know how you females get.
We're not doing that.
Whatever.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
But just do it like in a nice... Actually, if you make it a challenge, men love challenges.
I was just about to say that. Men are very visual. Mm-hmm. So I know that something I've used in the past is more of like you said, like a challenge. Not even like a game, but just like something like watch me do it and then you do it. And that right there turns them on beyond, like, okay, so they get to watch. At the same time, that's foreplay in itself. They're getting turned on. You're pleasing yourself. That way that the next time they do it or when they go to do it, they've already had, they've already had a visual.
And don't be shy to give pointers in the middle of it. In the middle of it, he's not good at it. Let him know, coach him.
Yeah, and you can.
But again, in a nice way, get cut.
Wait, there's a way you can let them know too. Sometimes I know depending on your home, because I know we have children. Sometimes we have to be quieter than we would desire to be. But if it feels good, let them know it feels good. Mm-hmm. There's words or there's sound that comes out of your mouth that will let them know, like, all right, I'm hitting it. And if it's not, there's always like, not right there. There's things that you can say and communicate with them. Now,
don't tell him that he's not hitting the mark.
Yeah, don't.
Don't do that. That's not the way that this is gonna work out good in your life. It's not gonna work out good.
But wait. So what if this was the opposite? What if the wife wasn't hitting the mark?
Well, you know what?
So men
have a thing of saying it like outright, even if it's dropping hints. But again, it's how you say it. I think that's the most important part. It's how you say it. You know your husband. You know your husband. You know what will get him upset, and you know what won't get him upset.
Right.
If both of you guys are like getting real like into it, I'm talking about the sweat is starting to come on and stuff like that. What you need to do is guide him.
Right.
You could take his hand and be like, and take his hand and put him where you want him to be.
All right. Yeah.
On your body. You can do that.
Right.
If you can help him. You can get him to do exactly what you want to do if you do it sexy.
Right.
Men don't think that good. We don't think. All we know is something is about to happen, regardless to what. So now by you helping out with that part, we know that something's about to happen. Even though we're not doing nothing, we think we are. If you take my hand and put it somewhere and you look like you're enjoying it, in my mind or in men's mind, oh yeah, look what I'm doing. You have the power to do this.
This is so great. I'm loving that you're sharing that. Really?
No, that's not for our house. That's
Wait, oh, that got me a little sidetracked. All right. That was
see
cute.
what I mean?
That was cute. I really got sidetracked.
You know what? With this whole marriage in real life, I hope that married couples are sitting there watching this together. I really do. Because we don't even know. You could be sitting right next to your husband and he does not even know who unstimulated is an issue.
Right.
He's probably laughing at this whole thing right now, not knowing that it's him. So, so please, if you can, make sure that you have your spouse with you.
Yes. And just to add a little nugget, visit DesireMeAgain.com.
Yes.
We have all the tools, the lingerie, anything that you can think of or things that you haven't thought of and you need to spice up your relationship, we got it.
If you need help on icebreakers, there's some people who been doing something the same way for so long that they don't, like, we have coaching cards that can help you. There's different products, there's different packages that suit what you need.
Right. And let's just say if you're looking for foreplay, right? We have a package that is targeted towards foreplay. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to think about too much because it's all written out for you. You can open it with your spouse. You guys are both going to enjoy it. And it's made for him and her.
Especially if you like role playing. If you like, let's say if you want to be in the kitchen together, we have stuff for that.
Yes.
We have stuff that in the kitchen. It's not just only in the bedroom. There's other things too.
Right. Visit DesireMeAgain.com.
Telling you.
All right, for our last one of the night, we have Hello Marriage in Real Life. My spouse and I sleep in 2 different beds. It's been like, can you let me finish? Let me finish.
Okay.
It's been like this for the past year. It didn't affect me at first, but now I find myself tending to my needs alone more frequently. Signed, Playing in the Dark.
No. No. You really have to find out why you are in your bed alone at night. You really have to find out why. As far as going any deeper than that, you have to find out what is the root behind that.
Right. Well, I think that's a great way to segue into this because there could be many reasons. Mm-hmm. Some couples sleep separately because of children, where there's 2 or 3 kids in there. You still haven't transitioned your kids into a different bedroom. Yeah. It could be, or it could be too that someone snores, and the other person can't sleep. You didn't specify who, if you're male or female. You said spouse, so we're hitting both sides. Yeah. It maybe someone is snoring and they cannot take the noise, or maybe someone's a night owl. Like I like to stay up late at night. My husband likes to go to bed by 8 o'clock.
I'm gone. He's
gone. And maybe you don't want to interrupt your spouse, and there's reasons.
But I like when you're next to me.
I know you do. I know you do because you're not distracted by noise. But I'm just saying. I'm giving examples of what possibility why someone would not sleep in the same bed.
We are giving our opinion on things. Right. These are just our opinions. We are not licensed for this yet. But I can honestly say I cannot, unless there is some real serious issue, sleeping in separate rooms, to me, like if this was to happen in our relationship, that would be more like a roommate type situation.
Right.
And there you're opening the door to allow a lot of stuff in.
And one of them, he or she mentioned that he finds himself entertaining their needs alone.
Yeah. And that's like if you can't even go into the other room to be together, something's definitely wrong there. To me, there's a lot of red flags there. Now, don't get me wrong. I do know people that they do sleep in separate rooms and stuff like that. You know your living situation. I don't recommend it, especially the fact that you're pleasing yourself more frequently alone. I would like to know when or how often do you guys actually come together?
Right.
You know, because to me it just doesn't sound right.
Well,
because imagine, like, if you have kids in your bed, and maybe that's the reason. Well, there's kids in your bed, not in the other room.
Right.
You know, so I'm not really understanding what would be the problem there. I wish there was more information on that.
Well, one of the red flags that we see, you said there was red flags. One of the red flags is that they're finding themselves, entertaining themselves alone. Yeah. So therefore, there's some type of loneliness. There's something that you're missing.
There's rejection in there.
Yeah, you're wanting something. So that right there is a red flag. And you said it didn't bother you in the beginning, but now it's bothering you.
And that's another thing. It didn't bother you in the beginning. That means it's been going on for some time now. Now you guys are set in your ways. It's going to be a lot harder to change that, but it is always possible.
It really is. I think that you guys should revisit this idea that you made. And like I said, it could be for many reasons. But now that it's causing an issue, if you find yourself pleasing yourself, maybe you guys are having sex less, you're spending less time together, it's time to have that conversation. Like, all right, maybe this worked last year. Maybe this worked 6 months ago, but it's not working now. Honesty is key. And maybe they'd be like, well, I have the kids. Say if it's a female, I have the kids in here, or I gotta breastfeed, or I gotta, I can't handle your noise, or, I like sleeping by myself. That's when you say, I need to be in this bed because I find myself doing things that I should be doing with you. That right there is gonna shut them down. Oh, that's a warning sign. Like, wow, like no one wants to hear that it makes you feel like you're not needed. That is going to open their eyes, and they're going to be able to hear you a little more. They're going to be ready to listen to what you have to say.
But don't let this go on for too long, because then that roommate syndrome is going to set in.
Right.
And you guys are going to end up being better friends, and eventually separate, and that's what with marriage in real life and Desire Me Again is. We're not about that. We're about bringing people together, rejuvenating, restoring relationships. So I really, really thank you for reaching out to us. Yes. But we need to work on that. Right. Send us another email so we can get a little bit deeper. And don't forget to tune in next week when we'll be talking about date nights. Date nights are very important, and I do not think that you should ever stop dating your spouse.
Also, visit DesireMeAgain.com for all your needs in helping restore, rejuvenate, and rekindle your marriage back to health.
Thanks again for joining us. Have a wonderful week.
Deuces.